So it's long been said that inflammation is the root of all disease. But is that really true? Well, it's definitely a big part of the story, especially with chronic illness and autoimmune conditions. And there is very solid evidence that chronic inflammation is not only involved in conditions involving the gut and immune system, but also the brain and nervous system, like autism, ADHD, anxiety, and epilepsy. But while the traditional medical doctors throw heavy-hitting medications like NSAIDs, corticosteroids, and so forth at it, and integrative medicine or biomedical practitioners put patients on intense diet changes, detoxes, and vitamin or supplement protocols, for the vast majority of patients here today, there is an even deeper and almost hidden root cause of chronic inflammation and illness in kids and families. While biomedical and functional med testing looks way deeper than traditional medicine does, no amount of lab testing or blood work will ever find stress and dysfunction in what's called the vagus nerve in the autonomic nervous system. Well, it may sound so stinking simple, and it is. Chronic stress is the number one hidden in plain sight cause of inflammation, even in our kids. So my name is Dr. Matt Dirkse, and I specialize in neurologically focused pediatric and family chiropractic. So in this video, we'll break down the most advanced and up-to-date science on inflammation and chronic illness with a special emphasis on the role of nervous system stress, vagus nerve dysfunction, nervous system dysregulation, and something called sympathetic dominance. We're revealing how optimizing vagus nerve function and getting the nervous system balanced and regulated could hold the real key to so many of your child's health struggles. So you'll learn all about the safe, simple, and gentle ways we can stimulate and activate this essential part of the nervous system. And most importantly, gang, how to first find out if your child's nervous system and vagus nerve are stressed out and dysfunctional, and what caused it to be that way in the first place. Approximately 27% of children in the United States have a chronic condition, and 1 in 15 have multiple chronic conditions. Moreover, research indicates that the prevalence of chronic conditions is on the rise among our pediatric population. This is a sure sign that the traditional medical system is failing our families, and that while inflammation is absolutely a big part of this chronic illness pathway in kids, there must be more going on that is currently not being addressed with the conventional and often even biomedical approach. So here is a question for you. Is there something more going on than poor gut health, dysbiosis, and microbiome issues? It's definitely part of the story again, but not the whole story. Once parents start digging into chronic inflammation, 95% of the information online will rightfully and awesomely take them deep into the biomedical field that talks all about the gut, the microbiome, how it controls and connects to the immune system and inflammation and so forth. That leads parents on an awesome journey to remove gluten, dairy, grains, sugar, toxins, and so forth, right? And often add in all sorts of diet changes, detoxes, vitamins, supplements, and so on, to try and heal the gut and combat that inflammatory process. This path is an extremely helpful and effective path, but it's also often incomplete. The number one missing part of the science and conversation, even in the natural health world, is stress on the nervous system and neurological interference, and more specifically, what's called vagus nerve dysfunction and dysautonomia. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve, running from the brainstem to major organs like the heart, the lungs, and gut. It coordinates the parasympathetic rest and digest responses, which is crucial for activating the body's self-healing and recovery processes. We now also know that the vagus nerve is significantly connected to the immune system, and specifically the control and regulation of inflammation. When the vagus nerve becomes interfered with via something called subluxation along the pathway of this wildly important nerve, gut and immune system dysfunction sets in. And inflammation can run rampant, even with pristine diets and all the sorts of lifestyle interventions, supplements, cold plunges, infrared saunas, and so on, right? So how do we find vagus nerve dysfunction? Neurological insight scans, particularly the neurothermal testing, can detect areas of subluxation nervous system interference, inflammation, and temperature changes in the neurospinal system, indicating vagus nerve dysfunction and nervous system dysregulation. Heart rate variability testing measures the balance between the sympathetic stress side and parasympathetic chill sides of the nervous system, revealing dysautonomia in the body's ability to manage stress and inflammation. So these scans provide a comprehensive view of nervous system health, helping to identify underlying issues, right? Neuroinflammation, lit up thermal, okay? We see this on scans all the time. So if your child is struggling with inflammation-related symptoms, such as immune or autoimmune disorders, autism, spectrum disorder, anxiety, seizures, or other neuroimmune-related challenges, it's time to look beyond just managing symptoms and even just addressing inflammation through diet changes in nutrition and other natural health measures. Balancing the autonomic nervous system and optimizing vagus nerve function is essential for resolving persistent inflammation that does not respond to either traditional or biomedical interventions. If you're tired of seeing your child sick, inflamed, and struggling with their health way too often, despite feeling like you've tried it all already, right? Give us a call to schedule your nervous system dysregulation and vagus nerve dysfunction scans and find the real root cause of your child's chronic inflammation and health struggles.